I want to dive into a small but important aspect of curating grace in a great relationship. And it's fine-tuning the environment. Now, the best way I know how to describe this is to talk a little bit about the fine-tuning I've been doing in my marriage. So, in Thailand, where I like to stay, we started off having a shared apartment. And then there were times when I wanted to make videos like this where she'd basically have to freeze so as not to distract me in a video. And so I felt a little bit stressed and I didn't feel good. So I rented the apartment next to that apartment. And this, of course, ties in with thrift, with creating enough value for other people so that you can make enough money to bless the relationship. And so it's nice to work within a framework of abundance. And one of the reasons I'd rented this apartment is it's $130 a month. So when the couple next door vacated, it's just another $130 a month. So I just rented that. That then became, and then I wanted to write some things on the blackboard. So in Thailand, I have this giant 4x8 foot blackboard so that I can make videos and and do this and that and the other. And I have my own easel, my own painting stuff, and the own air conditioning. And so I'm basically creating an ability to be my best creative self without the relationship being a hamper in that. And it's one of the reasons why I decided at age 17 to make earning money the first foundational skill in creating an ideal relationship. Because I never wanted money to be the thing that determined who I loved or whether or not we fit well. And obviously, if a lack of $130 is meaning that creativity creates conflict rather than creativity blesses the relationship, then not earning that $130 is a curse on the relationship. So now we have our two spaces. And then we create a framework around that. I said, this is my creative place. It's my place where I go when I don't want to be interrupted or anything like that. So anytime I want that, I'll just walk next door into that apartment. And you can leave me be. And so there's the purchase, there's the setup, the chalkboard, the microphone stand, the easels, the paints, the benches, the chairs. So there's all that bit. But there's also the protocol and the ritual. How's it feel if I just walk up and go next door? Do you need me to check in with you first? That negotiation of what is the ritual around separating. Well, similarly, we're in the U.S. right now, and this is my downstairs film studio / bedroom, and the bedroom's enormous, and so on the far end of the bedroom I'm here, and then there's stuff over there. But the setup, Jen has 2 laptops, one down here, one up there, so that she can morph around these spontaneous rituals, which is I get an idea and I wander down and I press record, and this has generated more than 800 hours of video since the beginning of our relationship, and on a whole host of topics. So this dance, it's a relationship with self. Like, I know that I'm impatient, so I relate to that impatience. And how I did the relationship here was I have a studio light here, a studio light here. I have a studio light here and here that are covered with photo umbrellas. And then, because that was leaving a darker face, then I have two other lights with photo umbrellas this way. And then this is my green screen that's detachable. And then I've got my stand here. Now, turning on all those lights, maddening. So what I did was I put an outlet in the light fixture that's over there. So currently the top 4 lights turned on by one light switch. But I put an outlet in there, and I put an extension cord out of the outlet, then put in the bulb, and now all the lights turn on with a single switch. And then I set up the camera here with everything ready so that all I have to do is switch, sit, and press play. And that reduction in friction has been responsible for a 300% increase in creativity. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel great. I feel great after doing something creatively with some sense of mastery. So I feel good about myself after making these videos. Now, this blesses the marriage. This blesses the relationship. I have relationships with you, and you, and you, and you, and you, in all these different niche areas. I meet parts of myself that I don't connect with my wife. But those developed personas that occur come back and bless the marriage. There's more than 100. I went through that, just a couple, two little choices, because I want to make the connection, something that, when I was in my early years in reading, love yourself, just love your partner, it's poppycock, because you don't know from that how to plug an extension cord into a socket to tune in with your impatience. But that's what does it. You see, it's loving oneself enough to see and respect who one is and respond to that with respect, and then bless the relationship. And so in doing, literally, in fact, I'll raise my estimate, by doing more than 120 separate small and large things, each of which that's designed to reduce friction, to enhance creativity, to bless the relationship, to give us more spontaneity. Another one, we like playing chess, and so we set up the chessboard on a special table, and we got an extra large board where we could put our plates so we could eat and play chess at the same time. Well, that extra large board and that particular configuration means that we play twice as much chess, which means twice as much enjoyment, in those aspects. The ping pong table, again, let's just blow off some steam, or the dartboard, etc. Having things set up so that they're instantly actionable and that there's spaces for that plays an enormous part in a 10x relationship. And it's something that Elon Musk talked about he referenced it in the manufacturing process. He said that designing a car is easy. You can make any car you want, 1, 2, or 3, it's easy. But designing a great design for manufacturing thousands of cars. In other words, designing the factory that makes cars is far more difficult than designing the car. And that's what I want to get to here. Designing the factory that creates great relationship moments is much more challenging, requires much more sophistication and depth, latitudinal skills going out and out and out, because, in order to do something, you've got to have imagination, you've got to have self-awareness, you've got to be able to find, the plug where you plug a light bulb in and can plug in an extension cord. You've got to be able to figure out, one of the big challenges was to figure out how to mount the photo umbrellas up flush with the ceiling so that they created that effect without, getting in my way, etc. And, I invented it, bending the wires using, tape, this and that, screwing them in with the bulb so that the photo umbrellas screwed in with the bulb screwing in. There's a technological element for creating grace. There's a financial element for creating grace. And for every financial element in the grace of spending money, there's the grace of making money, which leads to the grace of adding more value, which leads to the grace of studying in a way to add more value, and studying the art of helping a customer see how you're adding that value. There's grace. There's skill on every level. And so this factory, setting up a house where it's elegantly easy to cook, to sleep, to make love in multiple locations, to play this, to play that, to talk about this, to talk about this, to watch this here, to watch this there, to listen to music here, to have the music ready so that it's frictionless. There's this relationship with every aspect where it's got to be a lower cost to do something enjoyable than the hassle of doing it. People are always saying, oh, we could walk on the beach, we could do this, and then they don't do it. And the question is, why? It takes a design to set up the activities that bring out the best in the relationship in such a way that they're easy. And so I would say that this is one of the biggest areas I tend my marriage. It's things like saying, my wife gets cold when we do this fun activity. I don't want her cold. I like the fun activity. Let me buy her some pocket warmers. Done. But it's not just buying the pocket warmers. It's storing 5 pocket warmers here, 5 pocket warmers in the car, making sure she has on her list, use the pocket warmers. Now we've got a factory going, a routine, and then we're out of pocket warmers, buy with one click, new pocket warmers, factory going. It's the factory of the videos. Do this video, do this video, do this video, charge, upload to the computer, send it to my assistant. It's a factory that makes doing beautiful things easier and easier, so that every year it's easier and easier to be our best self. It's more and more effortless. And one of the things is training each other so that we both can play different roles, so that anytime, like, okay, you do this bit of the factory, I'll do this bit of the factory, and we both know what, and we can reverse roles. So I thought I'd share that, and that's this very exciting piece. And one thing that I think you can do to be a great partner in this process is make a list of 40 things, little nuances, like a separate ringer for your partner so you know who's calling, keeping bottled water in the car or favorite drinks or snacks in the car so that you can do a spontaneous outing even when you're hungry and not feel like, oh, I'm too hungry. I'd love to go to the beach right now, but I'm hungry and we don't have any snacks. So, having a snack drawer in the car. Having extra batteries for all the things that need batteries, so that no matter what comes up and runs out at any point, okay, we've got a spare battery. Let's just put it in and keep right on going. No, we have to charge and da-da-da. So these types of things, for me in particular, they're absolutely terrific. So I'll see you on the next video, and good luck. I talked in the last video about creating a factory that constantly supports new growth and new experiences in the relationship, and that being a really important thing. And one of the things I want to add to that factory is the media component. And I'll tell you a little bit about what my media factory looks like to support 10X Relationship. So first of all, I have an Audible account, and I have a desktop computer that's always on, that I can walk into in the office. I like typing in a regular size keyboard and using a mouse, so I don't like gadgets for that. My fingers react to wireless technology as well, so I like to keep that all wired. And so Audible is stored in a favorite link on Chrome. So all I do is tap on Chrome, tap on Audible, and what happens is, as I'm watching a documentary, as I'm watching a movie or whatever, I get an idea, or I hear a reference to a book, or my wife says, "Oh, I love that person, I love that comedian," etc. So I just bought Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime, because my wife likes Trevor Noah so much. And so what I try and do is stack the Audible library so that I have at least 10 good, topic-sensitive books. And, if you haven't explored this, John Gottman is a fabulous author to peruse to, grow a relationship. But so is the book, The 5 Love Languages. So is The Body Keeps the Score. So is The Highly Sensitive Person and the Highly Sensitive Person in Love. So is David Schnark's Passionate Marriage. And so what I do when I get these suggestions is I instantly get out, a pad and just pause, and I go order all these stuff. So then I've got, 5-10 new books, stacked up. And I listen to them together when we're driving or cooking. And the author says something that I think, oh, that could relate to the marriage, and so I bring it up and we deal with it immediately. Taking instant action on things. So this ties in with the factory of keeping always up to date. Like every day I get my inbox down to less than 3 emails in the inbox, and those are from me, stuff that I use to remind myself in the inbox. And so there's the Audible factory. There's also the Netflix factory, meaning let's catch a movie is a fun, spontaneous impulse. It's not fun to say, let's catch a movie, and then have to go through 200 titles and say, nah, not that one, and then by the time that's done, it's not spontaneous anymore. So, when I have a moment, I'll, add 10, 20 movies to my Netflix queue. And then they just come, and show up, and they're just there, and why not? Let's do this. So and I'll also do a little bit of pre-screening sometimes, because I'm picky about movies. I might watch, 3 minutes to say, oh, yes, I really would like watching this with my wife, so I'll save this for the watch together pile. I know she'll like that. There's also books periodically. Again, just buy that, and have a few books to draw on. So this is the stacking the media simultaneously. We set up Chromecast so that we could broadcast YouTube. And I got YouTube Red so that we could have advertising-free YouTube. And I really enjoy some of the long-form discussions. And so we'll watch a bit and then we'll press pause. And it's a really dynamic relationship we have with media. We'll watch a little bit, and I'll say, that's a good thought. Let me go make a video about that. Or, what do you think about that? And we have a conversation. And when we're done with our conversation, we press play again and, and take it a little bit forward so that it's not a passive consuming media relationship, but rather in a dynamic and inspiring consuming media relationship. And because media is so much a part of people, and then we also, don't text and fiddle too much when we're doing something together. And so we take time apart to do that. And my wife is kind enough to orient that sometime around, my creativity is very erratic. And so when I go off and do 2 hours of video recording, that's when she, fiddles up with her texting and all that, and is, very accommodating. So a relationship can be easily 30% more dynamic and interesting when you take active control of your media, eliminate all ads, have it stacked for spontaneity, and also stacked for engagement. Like with music, I have a CD player in my DVD player, but that thing is so tedious. It takes literally about a minute to turn on, and then you have to press play and eject the, that is nonsense. So I have a micro SD card and just one button on a portable speaker that anytime we want to spontaneously dance, like, hey, let's dance. And it's literally press a button, nice sound comes out. The SD card contains only songs we like dancing to. And so we dance 3 times more than it's, do you want to dance? Well, let's, figure around with this. Let's turn on the power. Where's the remote? All that kind of stuff. So this is kind of the setup, and I take great delight in these little refinements because, as I say, that last little portable speaker I got with the one button music has doubled the amount of time I've spent dancing with my wife. And it's that simple. You reduce the friction, you reduce the cost of impulse. You make it easy to grow and have fun, and you do a lot more of it again and again.